Good evening, I was going to say good afternoon. Thank you for joining us in Heroes Lounge. This is the first match of the day. It is myself, Celestina of On Ruby Wings. I also have the lovely Paradox. How are you today, Paradox?
I'm doing very well, considering been kind of hectic today, but sure, I'll take a cast for now.
Yeah, it's been hectic for the both of us. But today we are bringing you quite an interesting match. We do have Boost Bus versus the Teaclub. I believe, quote me if I'm wrong, this is their 6th match?
I'm actually not sure, because Teaclub has actually played 5 matches, while Boost Bus has played 4. If this is their 6th match, Phoenix is not banned, because that was being asked in the chat. And apparently, according to Sinister, our captain of the Teaclub, we are on match number 6, so apparently Boost Bus might have missed.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for filling in that information for us. So I believe that both teams are ready. Just check the chat.
Yep. We are ready. I'm just gonna press the button. We're gonna clear up any misunderstanding in the game. So, as far as maps go, we had actually a very quick map draft, considering the short notice of these teams. We started with Teaclub winning the flip. I pressed the button, but it took like 2 minutes to start. But anyway, we started by Teaclub banning Sky Temple because they won the flip. Boost Bus responded by banning Battlefield of Eternity. And we are being taken, as you can see on your screens, to Volskaya Foundry.
Whoop! I love Volskaya. I absolutely have so much fun on Volskaya, so I'm quite happy that Teaclub have picked this map, as it is the newest one, I believe, in Heroes Lounge and introduced to Heroes of the Storm. Again, quote me if I'm wrong. So I already think I know what's going to be one of the first picks, but I'm not gonna ruin it and shout it out. But there is a Maiev ban coming from Boost Bus. They do not want to be going against that, but again, as I say, every cast, nobody really wants to go up against a Maiev at the moment.
Yeah. Maiev is very understandably still banned. Still like top priority ban, just because of the mobility of just how annoying she is to mostly mobile characters, even though she's supposed to counter mobile characters, but anyway. And yeah, I'm spreading a bit of fake news, correcting myself. But since this is round 6, as I mentioned, Phoenix is not banned. And Teaclub are actually going to make the bold move, well, kind of bold move, of actually letting him slide, instead banning the Medivh.
Thanks for the reminder. Draft screen. I don't like that. There it is. Whew, that scared me then. I thought it was a black screen. It was another tech issue. It's not. We're good. So a Maiev ban. I mean, Maiev has been great. Not Maiev. I keep getting confused with those two. Medivh has been greatly improved lately. So he is quite a slippery fellow to be going up against. And I completely understand why that ban has come out. I didn't know that either of the teams did play Medivh, so it is quite interesting. And they are taking their time on the Boost Bus side to find what champs they're going to be picking up. It's always good to use as much time as possible so that you can think into your rotations.
Yeah, you do have the full 60 seconds, so that's very understandable. And looking through the stats of both of these teams, none have really shown any high Oh, what? Okay, I tapped back in. I was scrolling through stats. It seems that neither team has really shown any tendency to pick up Medivh, and I tapped back into a Nazebo first pick. What? I would love to explain this, but I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, Nazebo does work effectively on this map. I wouldn't have prioritized him at all as a first pick, to be honest. But who knows? I mean, comfort, I think, is better to go over meta. So it's possibly something that they're used to on this map, something they're comfortable with playing. They know that they're able to push that lane. So I'm going to go with that theory for now.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared about that, because you're pretty much letting the enemy team letting your enemy team know your game plan from the start. Like this is clearly a we're going to the late game pick, and Volskaya is not exactly ideal for, of a an ideal of a map to go to the late game, just because the objective is so strong and can take forts at the start of the game if you get like one pick, or if the enemy team just doesn't have clear. So
hmm
I'm
And
not 100% sold on it.
yeah, I mean, I'm not sold on it, but we do, and my team use Naz on this map. He can be quite effective. But they do have a pickup of Stukov and Hanzo coming from the Teaclub. Again, they're both extremely versatile and effective heroes. So first pick for those two is a good choice. With Harass and also with the point, you've got the Stukov and the Hanzo. That's going to be heavy pressure for Boost Bus to go up against.
Yeah, definitely so. Just going with the standard stuff so far, two very strong heroes, as you mentioned. And this is more like it. I'm not 100% sure. I wouldn't say Li Ming is more like it, but Garrosh definitely just securing a very solid tank. Pretty annoying for the Stukov to deal with, just because you have the decently long range interrupt. You have the Li Ming actually throwing orbs at you if you ever decide to silence, and Li Ming is not in it, so I can get behind that reasoning as well. So two very decent picks to follow up a very questionable one for Boost Boss.
I mean, Li Ming is a good choice for most maps. For this map, I would probably have gone with like a KT or a Chromie instead. Garrosh is quite useful on this map, with the points saying that as well. Malfurion ban, understandably, top support currently going on. So I would ban that. If you're going to take the Stukov, you're going to take away the Malfurion. Makes sense for the lockdown on the points. And also thank you to Baez for setting up the bets.
Yep. So if anybody wants to bet any points, if you want to cheer for any of the teams, if you think you know which team is going to win just through the draft, you can bet your points. We're gonna find some use for them soon, TM, according to people in the lounge. But for now, we've got beside the Malfurion ban from the side of Teaclub, which is very understandable, as you mentioned. We've got a Diablo ban coming out from Boost Bus, which is also understandable. Like, he is a very solid tank at the moment. He can deal that percentage damage later on in the game, and you don't want Garrosh to eat all of that. So, very understandable so far. And we're now having the Teaclub just taking their time, as you mentioned earlier, to get their picks going.
Absolutely. Fully going with that. Diablo is basically, he's in every match picked at the moment, either picked or banned. So he's very, very strong. We do have a Junkrat and Muradin pickup on Teaclub. Again, they're going very much for a heavy harass for the points, which I greatly approve of. I think it's going to be quite fun and quite a handful with a Hanzo and a Junkrat. And Muradin for some aggressive tanking and stunning as well. I think that's going to be quite a difficult task for Li Ming and Garrosh to be going up against at this point.
Yeah. One other thing I would like to point out is with the main sustained healers being either picked or banned, the only real support you have to deal with this poke, and he's not exactly 100% effective with it, for it, is Lucio right now, because everybody else you've got what? Rhaegar, Anna. I'm mentioning Anna really. not all sold into that. The Rhaegar, the Uther, which you really don't want to pick. So, and as far as Boost Bus goes, they're going to be picking up the Rhaegar, and they're going to be sealing their solo lane with the Sonya, which I really appreciate. I wouldn't want to see Nazebo going out of the solo lane.
Absolutely. I mean, Rhaegar was pretty much the only choice that Boost Bus really had in terms of a healer on this map, so that's a good pick. I don't think any other support would have been able to have gone up against it, to be honest. But Rhaegar is going to still be in quite a bit of danger with all the pokes, so he's going to have to really be playing that rather safe and has a job on his hands to heal up a Leeming.
Yeah, definitely so. One thing I would I want to point out is that Rhaegar's pretty nice with the Garrosh, just because
Yes, he is,
his
yeah.
health pool is pretty low. So the
Ooh.
ancestral heals for more effective health, just because of how his armor works out, increasing his health, his effective health, generally speaking. But um, Teaclub are gonna say, well, if you want to take that soul lane, it's gonna be hard for you. And picking up the Malthael to go up against that Sonya, that's gonna be a pretty painful match, as I can say from personal experience, especially post level 4.
For which one? For Sonya or
The
Malthael?
Sonya versus Malthael, just because die alone pretty much means that you win the solo lane. Like, there's not much a solo Sonya can do.
To be honest, which draft are you favouring with this one?
Considering the big question mark that is Nazebo,
Yeah,
I'm gonna put my money on Teaclub.
yeah, I was thinking
Just because
that.
it's the more standard draft. If Boost Bus can actually take it to the late game and get that Nazebo stacked, they're most likely going to win. But I'm not sold. No, especially when you're going up against a pretty much meta draft.
Absolutely. I mean, it does look to me like, for example, Boost Bus have gone for comfort rather than meta, and I always appreciate comfort over meta any day. But I do have to agree, the Teaclub does have far superior poke in terms of Boost Bus, that I think they're going to have quite a bit of issues getting up close.
Yeah. One thing, going through the stats right now, Teaclub are actually the ones that picked the Nazebo 3 times, and Boost Bus haven't. So, interesting to see where that's going to lead.
Absolutely. So, we are going into game 1, best of 3. On the left-hand side, we do have Boost Bust. We have BB Sad Boy on Sonya, BB Lortak on Li Ming, BB Sneko, I hope I've got that right, on Rhaegar, BB Antariadis on Nazebo, and Aragonus on Garrosh.
And on the right-hand side, in red, it's going to be the Teaclub, the veterans of the lounge, with Sinister on the Stukov, Hanabi on the Malthael, Darken playing that Murden, the Riley on the Hanzo, and finally, Junkrat being played by Oni Knight. So, both the teams just going for the standard, quote-unquote standard 5-man stack on the mid lane. No team really looking to go aggressive. You've got quite a bit of CC on either side. Garrosh with this.
Nazebo does need to be getting in his lane at this point. There we go. So we have Sonya already in lane against the Malthael. It does look like she's struggling already. And we do have the rotations in place with the mid to top. Again, there goes the poke damage that we said coming from the Teaclub, keeping Rhaegar at bay.
Yep. Talent-wise, we're seeing pretty much kind of standard abilities all across the board, with Hanzo actually going for the target practice, as we see Junkrat kind of being thrown back, but he's got a mine. He's going to jump out of there and actually deal more damage than he took to the Rhaegar.
Absolutely. But equally, Boost Bursts are giving Teaclub quite a bit of damage there as well. But all healed up. Thanks to
Pretty much that. It's the Stukov, and it's even before level 4. Like, after that, it's going to be even worse.
This is why it was a wise choice to ban the Malfurion, because you can root down and lock down the Stukov when he's doing that.
Exactly. So, one thing I wanted to point out is the target practice being picked up by Hanzo. That's not exactly what you see usually, just because pretty much after the Koreans started going W build all day long, you started seeing quite a few more of those being picked up. As we see Stukov getting trapped by the zombie wall, but he says, "No, thank you. I'll take a Rhaegar," who dove into him.
Is that a dead Garrosh? Is that a dead Garrosh? That's a very lucky Garrosh, is what that is.
Yeah, the Garrosh would have been dead if not for his 40 plus armor he had stacked at that point.
That was good
But
plays
that
there,
is
though.
such as the nature.
There was the Garrosh did throw, and also Junkrat did also chuck around as well with his bomb. So that was quite smart plays from both sides coming out there. And Rhaegar again being harassed around by the Junkrat. We did say he's not going to be enjoying this game too much.
Yeah, we actually see Sonya getting a pick onto the Malthael just by the skin of her teeth.
Wow.
Surviving with less than 100 health, less than 50 health even, I think. So, really good job by her. It's really annoying to play against the Malthael, but I assume he just sat there fighting her without a minion wave.
Absolutely. Oh! That's 2 kills that I missed.
Yep, Sonya decided to overstay in the lane. Murden rotated down and just started bashing her in the face, really. Like, by the time she started running, Darken was actually really patient with his Stormbolt. Waited until Sonya couldn't juke no more. Threw down the Stormbolt and got the finishing blow and Thunderclap just to get her down. So, really good trade for Teaclub after that first kind of blunder.
Apologies for missing those 2 deaths down in that bottom lane. There's Garrosh being rather daring.
Yeah,
Quite a strong hold for Teaclub though.
He's trying to do his job, but Murden into Junkrat into Hanzo Poke is not exactly making this easy for him. But we've got the overtime going for the Teaclub now, and well, there's been quite a decent position established from Boost Bus at the moment, especially with all 5 people.
That's a dead Stukov, yeah, saw that unfortunately coming there. That's also a dead Darkin going down. Rhaegar and Sonya are extremely low, as is the Garrosh. Can Malthael, oh, there he goes, gets the kills on those. This is a very ballsy Malthael.
Yep, he almost had the cleanup, but then Garrosh healed himself. Rhaegar barely survived. And he actually fell, but didn't fall before getting the trade, thanks to the Hanzo.
Indeed, that is a Teaclub pickup there, coming out first one of the match. That was quite an evenly matched fight, to be honest.
Yeah. Boost Bus even got the better end of that fight, but just because everybody was extremely low on less than 20% health, it's gonna be Teaclub just finishing off the overtime, getting the protector, and actually taking down an entire fort to begin with, and they might even have time to take down the wall in the bottom lane, to which they seem to be rotating.
Absolutely, and again, see Sonya struggling against the Malthael down there. That is quite a bit of damage coming out from the protector, however.
Yeah. Also, one thing I would like to point out is the kill happening in the mid lane with Boost Bus getting a pick onto the Junkrat. That's just Junkrat's squishy nature into a Leeming. She almost died herself, but she's gonna be fine, and the Boost Bus are gonna walk out with a kill. But getting back to my point, Sonya has gone for the Shot of Fury on level 7 instead of the pretty much standard Poison Spirit. So it's changed from the oldie level 1 talent. It instead also gives you extra damage on your W when you use the shot, besides the 50 Fury. So it's going to be interesting to see just how much effectiveness Sad Boy can get out of that.
Absolutely, and we do see a camp pickup at the top there coming from Teaclub as well, and also at the bottom, so they're on the hunt for those camps. Equally, it does look like Boost Bus are also at this moment in time. That's all you can pretty much do.
Yeah, pretty much until the next point respawns, which should be very soon. It's going to be in the top lane, obviously, the lane where we see both teams stacking. And Sad Boy is also moving in, but Malthael just took a camp, so he's going to be there as well. This is rather early for the teams to be here. I would like to see at least Boost Bus getting some Sogen, since lanes are starting to be pushed into their side. But yeah, pretty much both teams prepping for the next point, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. So there's quite a heavy aggression going on in the top lane there against Boost Bust. They are managing to just keep them at bay. Again, Junkrat is such a pain to ever be up against.
Yeah. Right. So, heroic-wise... Oh, okay, I did not notice that. So, heroic-wise, as I was going to mention, we're actually seeing Tormented Souls from Malthael, which I'm not 100% sold on, just because Last Rites actually gives you quite a massive threat against the Garrosh, exactly because it deals percentage damage. So armor is not going to help you against that, and you kind of want to be low health on Garrosh just because of that armor. But more importantly, it's the playmaker coming out for Muradin.
Ah, that's a bit of an unusual one that you don't really see that often these days. We do have the control point up on the top lane. Teaclub are already in position for that.
Boost Bus moving in, Malthael actually making a good call, getting a wave pushed in just before the control point spawns. That takes down the well in the bot lane, which might actually matter if we get to the third point. But for now, both teams have their wells, and it seems that the Teaclub are just in a much better position, so they claim the point to begin with.
Absolutely. So they're already in place, 16%. I don't think that this is going to be contested by Boost Bus at this point, or at least they're going to be picking up some more experience first. No,
yeah.
They're deciding to push the mid lane instead.
Yeah, they're behind. They have the level. Teaclub actually have the level 13 advantage, so it's very understandable for Boost Bus not to want to take that fight. They think they can get back there in time by the time they get the level 13. Although the fort wasn't enough, and they're still down. And in the meantime, Teaclub also took Boost Bus's fort. So we were gonna have a level 12 versus 13 fight.
Absolutely, and we do see Darkin very, very low there, with Sonya harassing at the back. There's a Malthael onto the Nazebo down, Li Ming in trouble.
You could also be being dived by Shneko on the Rhaegar and the Sonya. Hanzo's gonna try to clean up the Li Ming, but with the dominance, she's just gonna get healed up and get the kill on him instead. And that's going to be Boost Bus actually getting a very solid team fight in their side, just 3-0.
Absolutely.
So well played by them.
That Sonya was strongly harassing the back line there. That unfortunately we're left quite vulnerable, and Stukov was the first to go down. But that was a nice engage there, considering it was Teaclub who actually had the initial defensive positioning. That was very well played.
One thing I would like to point out is I think that Tormented Souls did not even go off on that fight. Like, I didn't see Malthael doing much, so not 100% sure what happened there. But we see a mine onto the Nazebo into a root from the Junkrat, but the entire team of Teaclub is not going to be there to capitalize on that. You see the Playmaker coming out on the Garrosh, but it is Boost Bus disengaging from the fight and picking up the Protector.
That Hanzo arrow saved Sinister on the Stukov there. Very nice play there for defensive maneuvering.
But unlike the first Protector, which went to the Teaclub, this time the Protector is going to be under very heavy defense from the entire team of the Teaclub, as we see just Muradin almost dying to the humongous damage coming out from the Protector again. So one thing I would have liked to see Boost Bus do is actually rotate one person, probably Sonya, to be honest, and get Ming into the Protector to get some soak. But I can understand this, like, you want to keep everybody together, and now you're ahead on XP, so a decent job done by Boost Bus.
Absolutely. So I'm changing my camera work around here. So Again, it's just going to be the standard picking up of the camps, going straight back to...
Yeah, surprising that Teaclub are actually getting that much leeway at the moment after that dominant win on the fight by Boost Bus. They're gonna get the support camp for themselves. It did some decent work in the last fight, but I think it got blown up by the Li Ming, if I'm not mistaken. But now we've got pretty much both teams stacking up. Aragonus on the garage is doing some patrolling, deciding to go back, get that pretty big wave that's going to secure level 16 for them. But one thing I would like to point out for the Teaclub is that now they have violently a reaction on the Stukov after that level 13, which is a massive playmaking talent, and one pick from that can turn a whole fight around.
Absolutely. And we do see, a Muradin very daring there. Managed to get out just in time for the rest of Teaclub to back him up.
Yeah. So now Boost Bus actually has the advantage in the top lane with the siege camp pushing, even though a whole wave is going to run into that, as well as the Junkrat. That siege camp should not be surviving for long. But seeing that everybody pretty much from Teaclub is in the top lane, Boost Bus are going to say, well, this bottom fort looks very open. We're going to use Zombie Wall and the Wrath of the Berserker Sonya to clean that up real quick. So they're going to actually go up in forts for once in this game.
Indeed, and there goes another camp pickup from the red team, picking that up on their side. I'm not entirely sure what Boost Bus are doing. They're all heading back, so top wave clear it is.
Yeah, I mean, it takes pretty much the same time to rotate through the mid lane and go towards the top as it would for you to Hearthstone back and get that. And nobody had really lost any health, maybe a little bit of mana, so might as well get at that replenished before the control point spawns. But now we actually again see Teaclub with the favorable position on the control point and the siege camp pushing in the top.
Absolutely. So it does seem to be quite a bit of swap for swap going on in this match. Quite evenly matched so far. We do have another protector popping in the bottom lane there, and again Teaclub are first on the scene with defensive positioning to set up, whilst Boost Bus are continuing to grab that experience up in the top lane. They do seem to be heading down now, but is this going to be a push in the middle instead?
Yeah, I think they're just shoving and making sure that they...
It's push in the middle.
I was going to say they're expecting Teaclub to respond, but this is going to require a full 5-man rotation, and Darken on the Murden is still there. Like, this is not enough to defend. There's a Gargantuan coming out, there's Wrath of the Berserker on the Sonya, and Darken is still sticking the point, but this is going to be a keep falling for Boost Bus, so very well played by them. Like, I don't think a Protector is going to get much more than a keep, so very decent value for Boost Bus.
Absolutely, that was quite a smart play coming out there. I didn't expect that to be coming out either, but Teaclub have managed to pick up the Protector, so hopefully they'll be able to do some damage with that, and the keep will be worth.
Yeah, they're going to need the keep and probably a couple of picks to even that up, because Boost Bus are already one level ahead, and there's catapult pressure on the mid lane now. So, starting off, the Protector still has a very long timer. Like, you're not going to be worried about that, even though it took some time to get there. But Protector ravaging down the wall for now. It takes that pretty much down, and it's still in very decent health, so it should be able to get this keep as well.
I'm not sure why that's backed off instead of taking a keep there.
I think Teaclub are expecting the next wave, and well, they are taking massive poke damage from the Ming and the Sonya with the Wrath, as well as the Nazebo. Like, the Nazebo Toads are actually dealing quite a bit of damage along with the Spiders. So they're trying to get some poke in, waiting for that jump to charge back in, using the laser, and the laser is going to take down the keep. So an even trade so far. We had the Pulse pushing into the mid lane for Boost Boost, but they haven't been able to deal any damage on the core itself.
Absolutely. So it did seem a worse there and an even swap. There is slight core damage though. There we go. We have the Rileys who's just cleared that up from the core. It does look like it's possibly going to be a push. No, it's not. They're going to be mopping up top lane from blue team and the camps.
Yeah, and with level 20 slowly but steadily approaching for Boost Bus, it should be Teaclub looking for a fight, but Boost Bus are not backing up. They're saying, "Well, you want this? We're gonna take this." And there's the Sonya just diving on everybody. A good taunt on the front line by Aragonas on the Garrosh. That's gonna be Murden and Malthael, the main frontliners, falling. Malthael is gonna follow suit with the Ming resets, and Junkrat is in a very precarious position. He's gonna be falling as well, and this should actually be game.
That was a very nice Junkrat ulti into the entire team there, but unfortunately the damage was coming in from Boost Bust. So that is going to be 1-0 so far for the blue team.
Yeah, very explosive and very unexpected fight, if I have to be honest. Like, I wouldn't expect Boost Bust to go for that, but they were confident. They saw that they can win fights, so they said, "Well, if you want this, come and get it." And they won that fight pretty handily. So good game, well played by both the teams, and Boost Bus is going to go 1-0 up.
Absolutely. So it is, and we are back. I managed to remember to swap the screens. So
congratulations. I hope you also updated the score.
I did. I remembered. I am
quality caster work right there.
Woo! I am, however, just giving people their bets at the moment, so bear with me just 1 second whilst I do that.
Yep, absolutely. So we have we're going to be expecting the Teaclub to decide on whether they want map pick or first pick. This is the standard. The losing team, as usual, decides which one they prefer. So it might take us a while, but that game was a very strange one, I have to be honest.
So the Nazebo worked out. I said it's comfort picks. I think comfort goes over meta, and that Nazebo definitely did seem to actually work.
But comfort with 0 picks, like I wasn't sold. I'm gonna be honest, but dealt some decent damage. Like the zombie walls were on point, just zoning people out. The Stukov was either pressured or wasn't able to get maximum value just because he was either under heavy pressure by Sonya, or the fights just ended really quickly, as we saw in that last one. Just Ming poke, the Nazebo Toads with the full Toad build were also annoying. I'll give you that. And they didn't even get to level 20. Like at the end, they just went to level 20, but it didn't matter at that point.
Absolutely. So we do see Teaclub are wanting to pick first pick. So we are waiting from Boost Bust to be picking the second map going into.
And this is where I am annoyed at the fact that they are a new team, because I can't get stats on them, and I can't say, okay, they're going to go to this map and go off on a tangent and make a lobby before anybody else calls it out. So we're going to have to wait. Boost Bus might need a couple of minutes to contemplate on that. But I would suggest you actually try to fix up the betting to have it ready to go whenever we go.
I've done it. I am setting it ready to go again.
Yep. And we have a map. Boost Bus have decided to take us to, well, another pretty standard map to see at the moment. The most standard map in the pool, if I'm being honest. It's going to be the Infernal Shrine.
Good old Infernal Shrine. It is definitely one of the most picked, if not the most picked.
Yeah, it's right up there with well, Tomb of the Spider Queen, like a month ago or something like that. I think it's dropped in popularity quite a bit
Mhm.
in the last month, but um, it's definitely up there, right alongside. Well, really Volskaya. Like it's being picked up quite often right now, and I'm not sure why, but it is what it is, I guess. And we're having teams moving in really quickly. Hopefully, they're going to be ready very soon, so we can take you to game number 2.
Oh, that is very quick going, and I'm all set up for the vote. Yay!
Yeah,
So,
it's always nice to have organized games, organized matches, just everybody moving on time, casters not being grafed, which is always nice to see.
indeed, it is me that always needs to remind us to swap screens and do the vote though. Okay, so we have ready in 20 seconds. I like it when it's all nice and quick, so that's always useful.
Right. So, as far as stats go, these teams, they are Division 3. This is the middle of the pack. Like you usually see players ranging from high gold to low mid tier diamond. So I'm not exactly sure what these exact teams, what the rosters look like. So you've got quite a bit of variety there. We have, as far as the standings go, we've got Boost Bus having missed a match, I would assume, are on 2 wins out of 4 matches, and Teaclub on 1 win out of five matches, unfortunately for them. So they're going to be looking to keep keep their hopes up for this and get another win on the board, but they're going to have to reverse sweep it if they want to get that going.
Absolutely. So the 20 seconds is gone. I wonder if they are ready.
Yep. 20 seconds are gone, but unfortunately, people are inconsistent, especially when you give that small timetable for yourself.
There we go.
But
They're ready.
seems like both the teams are ready, so we're just gonna roll right into Inferno Shrine.
Indeed. So match 2 coming up with Boost Bus versus the Teaclub. It is going to be best of 3. So
And Boost Bus with the 1-0 lead. So, ban wise, I'm not expecting a Nazebo ban. I'm not gonna surprise you here.
no.
So, yeah, probably more of the standard as we see Boost Bus immediately hovering them. I have
There we
taken
go.
no thoughts into that, banning her out. And one thing I would like to mention is the what? Oh, I may have griefed people. Right, I may have griefed people. I'm gonna bounce out of that, but I had my options correct, and then I decided to switch the team picking first because I thought my judgment was wrong. But I'm gonna excuse the viewers. Unfortunately, it is not Sad Boy. It is not Sad Boy's fault. And we see someone saying in chat, but we should be getting back into the game very soon, as soon as I stop being a scrub. But yeah, going back to a point I wanted to make is the fact that neither team really seemed to want to pick up the Phoenix. Like, granted, his nerfs were actually very decent. Oh. Oh, that's actually really nice. I actually appreciate the fact that people have made the lobby and made it correct. So I'm going to just confirm that both teams are still ready. But we should be jumping very soon into the game. And Phoenix wasn't prioritized, as I mentioned, so...
I mean, Phoenix is a bit of a 50-50. I mean, you have to be very careful who you play him against. I have seen games where he works really efficiently and then games where he's completely dominated against. So I think it's a bit too early, personally, to be taking out Phoenix. I mean, I could be wrong and people can go ahead and prove me entirely wrong.
Yeah, like the fact that like if it was pre-nerf Phoenix, because let's be honest, the nerf was necessary
Yeah,
and took way too long to come in.
yeah.
So if it was pre-nerf Phoenix, I would say instant first pick or first ban. Like you didn't need much practice to be good at Phoenix just because of the insane amounts of damage he dealt. But now I think his win rate has evened out. It still is above average, but it's much more bearable at the moment. And I would have to say that bans like the ones we're seeing coming out, which are a repeat of the first game, are much more understandable to do, just because of the fact that these are annoying heroes to play against.
Absolutely, I am in full agreement with that. So we do have a priority first pick on the Hanzo from the Teaclub, which did seem to work very well for them in terms of pushback in the last game. So I can definitely see why, especially as he is extremely strong on this map as well. And we have Diablo and Gul'dan picked up by Boost Bus. I mean, we don't really need to go into the ifs and whats with that. I mean, Diablo is, as we said in the first game, a very solid tank at the moment. I've literally seen him in every game, banned or picked. And
yeah, pretty much that. Like Boost Bus are going to say, okay, we banned him last game, let's get it for ourselves now. Like the Garrosh is not that solid here just because you can't consistently get throws during the team fights on the shrines just because of the minions spawning left, right, and center. Even though he's still very solid, don't get me wrong, but there is some nuance to that. And the Gul'dan, well, if you want a mage on this map, this is your mage. Like, he has insane shrine clear and offers some pretty decent poke.
I mean, I would have personally gone for a Kael'thas or a Jaina, but I mean, a Gul'dan works just as well with that. And the Stukov and Garrosh pick, so they've eliminated the Garrosh and taken that one for themselves, and have taken a Stukov, same as the last match. So a bit of a mix around and swap of characters here.
Yeah.
But Garrosh, I mean, I do quite like a Garrosh, but I'm not sure how he will hold against a Diablo.
Yeah. The Diablo Garrosh matchup is very strange. Like, I've been changing my opinion on it quite a bit during the last few weeks. Like, the Diablo pre-level 13 is theoretically weak into the Garrosh, just because if you try to move in, if you try to dash into someone, you're suddenly going to end up in the enemy's base because of the Garrosh. Or if the Garrosh doesn't want to get a pick on you, if the positioning is not right, you dash in, Garrosh just throws you back out, stuns you, and says, oh, you're not going to get anything here. But after that level 13, as I mentioned last game, you have that percentage damage coming in that can massively threaten the Garrosh, especially when you get to the devastating charge quest stacked up. That's 15%, up to 15% of Garrosh's health just getting chunked down. And if you have the reset with the overpower, that's up to 30%, which is insane, frankly, especially if you're a tank that heavily relies on armor. So, very clunky matchup to say the least. But let's go back into the draft. We have Blaze being banned by Boost Bus, and in response, Sonya's going to be out for Teaclub.
So that's possibly going to be a respect ban, but again, Sonya can quite dominate a lane on this one. But the Sonya and Malthael matchup was quite a difficult one for the first game, so I would imagine they just wanted to eliminate that along with a Blaze as well. I mean, despite the nerfs, Blaze is still a very, very viable and strong champion to be having in most metas.
So. Yeah. One thing I would like to point out is that now that we have unbanned Battle Rage, Sonya is rather insane on the shrines. Like the plus 25% damage on monsters, on pretty much monsters and mercenaries, actually makes quite a bit of difference. Just because you can spin to win, and you are an extremely efficient hero to do shrine clear with. But boost boss are just gonna go back to the standard, getting the Rhaegar, and something much less standard, picking up the Artanis for their solo lane.
It does seem, as we said before, comfort picks coming out here, and they're picking up the Rhaegar again against the Stukov. I mean, I would imagine it says that they can get the jump on Stukov, and it did seem, as we said, to work in the first game as well. So that's hard to shut down, especially with an Artanis. As a Stukov, you don't want a Rhaegar and an Artanis when you're stood there trying to silence people.
It's Artanis, baby rage. We're getting my Protoss mixed up.
Artanis.
Yeah.
And also a Gul'dan as well. And then the Diablo charge. I mean, Stukov is going to have a very hard time here.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of threat. And just if you want to go in, which Thrall does want to do, as we see him being picked up by Teaclub alongside the Junkrat, you also have the massive threat of the Horrify from the Gul'dan, just because besides everything else we've mentioned, Horrify is an extremely high impact heroic if you can land it properly. If you can get one squishy on the wrong side of that, aka Thrall in this case, you can very easily secure a pick on him, especially when you have Diablo to lock people in, the Artanis to do a decent amount of burst damage, and whatever boost boss want to round out their draft with. Not to say that I don't like the picks. Junkrat and Thrall are very solid at the moment. Thrall's a decent solo laner. Junkrat offers a lot of poke. So, very evenly matched so far.
Absolutely.
I am 100% sure on that.
Yeah. Throwing us another curveball, similar to the Nazeebo, we're being thrown a Falstad. I can only imagine that they have some kind of setup with that and a gust in mind. But other than that, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that.
That comp from Boost Boss actually feels like it's looking to punish the immobility of Stukov.
Yeah.
Like you've got the Falstad Gust, you've got the Artanis swaps, you've got the Diablo being able to interrupt, you've got the Gul'dan Horrify threatening, so that's quite a bit of threat against that Stukov, especially as we saw last game. Like there were cases where Stukov was just under so much pressure, and the tanks from the Murden, mainly from Teaclub, wasn't exactly in a position to stop that. He was usually going aggro himself, and that ended up with Stukov getting killed. But we are going back into the game.
Absolutely. So, on the right-hand side, we do have Teaclub. We have got Darken on Garrosh, Sinister on Stukov, Hanabi on Thrall, the Rileys on Hanzo, and Oni Knight on the Junkrat.
And on the left-hand side, in blue, it's going to be Boost Boss going 1-0 up in this best of 3 with Aragonas playing the Diablo, Lortak on the Gul'dan, Anteriadas on the Falstad, Schnecko on the Rhaegar, and finally Sad Boy on the Artanis.
Absolutely, and this is the second match between Boost Boss and the Teaclub. It is going to be the standard poke going on in the middle.
Yep.
Although Boost are on a bit of the defensive.
Yep, they really don't want to get caught out of position by Garrosh, into a Junkrat mine, into a root from the Thrall. Like, you can guarantee that you're going to be dead by that time.
And Sinister is staying far back.
Yeah, definitely so. Like, he's saying, no thank you, I want none of this. But one thing I would like to point out is the fact that Hanzo has decided to go for simple geometry this time instead of the Stormbow talent, which I'm much more into, if I'm being honest. And Thrall, since he is in the solo lane, he can't really stack the Crash Lightning, so he's going to be picking up Echo of the Elements, which is still a very solid talent.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a daring Diablo there, getting poked down from the Junkrat. The standard rotations we have here of middle bot.
Yep, we see actually Junkrat staying in the bot lane just because Teaclub's wave clear is much inferior to that of Boost Buses, just because of the nature of Gul'dan, who is very solid to say the least in the wave clear department. So the Junkrat actually warrants the entire team of Boost Bus staying there. But for now, it's going to be the 4-man up back into the mid lane. They'll just go at it.
Absolutely, and there comes the silence. But Garrosh, as we did say, he's taking quite a bit of flack coming out there. The rotation going in the bot. It seems like 5 versus 1. Ooh, that swap was so close.
Yeah, that swap was very close, even though I'm not exactly 100% that Oni Knight would have been locked down for long enough, even though the Diablo was there. But still very good attempt, and just assuring the fact that Artanis can threaten. And one thing I would like to point out is a fact that I'm really not sold on, but Artanis picking up the Seasoned Marksman instead of what you would usually see, which is the amateur opponent, deciding not to go for the camp clear, instead of just going full smart.
Absolutely, which I'm not sure about that one on here, but we do have the red team picking up camp on the bottom down there on their side. It is looking a bit daring for the Falstad up in the top lane there with a 4v1 encroaching.
Yep, Junkrat is taking solo laner duties, as I would like to see Falstad actually rotating towards the mid lane, just trying to utilize his global. But for now, he seems to content to stay in the top lane, and Junkrat might end up in a precarious position. No, he's just lobbing nades from over the wall. He's not going to care. But Boost Bus are taking some objectives. some structures, excuse me.
Indeed, and almost taking a well with them already, which is looking very good for them. So early on in the game, we do have an attempt from Teaclub up in the top lane there as well, but being pushed back by the Falstad.
Like, the game Boost Bus are playing is very interesting, just because like, think about this. What are you realistically gonna get with the first Punisher? Like a wall, maybe a bit of damage to the fort, maybe the fountain, like if there is an entire team defending it, granted. But Boost Bus have already taken that much, and the entire wall and the well in the mid lane, so that's already an even trade. And now the entire team is up into the top lane to defend against the Punisher.
That's a dead Diablo?
Yep, Diablo actually overstayed his welcome there and got punished by the Punisher just diving him, the Garrosh threat, the full damage. So unfortunately for Boost Bus, they were kind of late to the party. The wall, by the time they got there, the wall wasn't there, which is your main defense against the Punisher. That's what secures you clearing it before the entire fort falls down. So in the end, it's still going to be a solid trade for the Teaclub.
Indeed, it did definitely seem quite worth it for the Teaclub there. Team Darken looking to get the camp, scaring the Artanis away.
But Thrall seems to be in a very precarious position, being swapped into that by Sad Boy. But Sinister and Co are gonna get back in there in time, get that burst heal on the Thrall, and he's actually gonna be kept safe and sound, especially since Lortak also took quite a bit of damage, which he has now healed up.
Absolutely, that did look very precarious there for the Thrall, and I'm quite amazed that he has actually survived. So that was some good plays there on both sides.
Also, I'm not sure if I'm sounding robot-y at some points, but I'm having slight lag spikes in the game, so do not be alarmed if I at some point disconnect. But for now, I'm having a relative slideshow, but it's just a siege camp being picked up by Teaclub, and they're looking for more with a level 10 advantage.
You were a little roboty at the start of this, but thanks for the warning in case you disappear. And we do see a 4-man push coming in the middle there, which boosts aren't able to defend as it is a 2v4. No, it is now a 4v4.
Yeah, 5v5 even, with both teams pretty much entirely rotating into that. As we see the Diablo getting very much caught out of position, but an excellent Horrify coming out.
And arrow by Hanzo.
Team apart, and almost an on-point Ancestral saved the Artanis there, but Shneko was like half a second too late on that. So he's going to be falling, and that's it's more quick.
You're definitely liking that.
Yeah. I thought so. I heard the call dropping for a second, but very solidified overall by Teaclub.
Oh, I thought that was going to be another swap there. It is not. I have to say, Teaclub are playing quite well considering Stukov shutdowns there. Hasn't been caught out yet and is playing very safely and kept quite guarded.
Yep. Volstad still on the wrong side of the map. I feel that both bus are not utilizing their global as they should be. Like, he's always on the side where the shrine spawns, so you can't really have him just stay soaking at some other point and get back into the team fight after that. But Boost Boss did get the Bruiser, which is going to be pressuring the top lane, and they're looking for a fight now.
Absolutely, so they do have a level advantage. Ooh, and then, nice Stukov and Hanzo ultis coming out there. They do not want to be engaging in this.
Very good engage, but that's a lot of heroics being burned by the side of Teaclub, and it's Boost Boss actually picking up the good positioning now on the shrine now, and the Bruiser camp is still pressured.
That's a dead looking Diablo, and Hanzo coming out. Oh! And Garrosh! Wow.
Yeah, Holstad actually falling down. Diablo is staying back because he's really low. Artanis was surviving for a long time on very low health, but he's going to be falling down as well. Diablo is going to be burning his souls, and suddenly that's a lot of kills towards Teaclub, with Garrosh just refusing to die there, along with Sinister on the Stukov.
I mean, that was quite a messy fight then. Could have gone either way.
Yeah, definitely so.
I did think that it was Boost Boss got the upper hand there, but then Teaclub managed to just turn around and dominate and take out all four.
Yeah, the self-sustain coming out from Thrall did actually matter quite a bit there, because he pretty much survived on exactly that, and the Ancestral Wrath on level 7 helped out, his trade generally speaking helped out, and that's gonna be at least another fort falling down, and the Punisher is still gonna be relatively healthy and able to pressure in the bot lane.
Absolutely. So this is what I call a 360 game. This is a very much a back and forth, and anything can happen going on. But that Punisher is getting a lot of damage on, so he's not going to have much worth coming out there.
Yeah.
Ooh,
but Artanis is going to get an excellent swap on the Hanzo, but he's got mountain agility. He's just going to say, no thanks, I'm out of here. Excellent Ancestral coming out on the Diablo, making sure that he stays alive. The Gust just pretty much saying, nope, everybody get out, this is a disengage. And that was a very all over the place quote-unquote fight with a lot of people falling down low, a lot of heroics being burned from both sides. We saw Sundering, we saw the Swipe, if I'm not mistaken, Ancestral, Horrify, Gust, Apok coming out, so...
Just list them all, Paradox.
What?
Just list them all. It was definitely a lot.
Literally more than half of the heroics.
We do see a camp pick up in the top there from Teaclub picking up their own Shaman camp there, whilst down at the bottom we do have Boost Bust looking to push that lane along with pick up the camp along the way.
Yep, quite a bit of threat going on from the Teaclub with siege camps pressuring the mid lane, which is already on half health. Well, the fort, that is. And in the top lane, the Bruisers should be pressuring, but not as much. And with Falstad just using his flight, it's gonna be up by the time you get the shrine. And now I like what I'm seeing. Like, Enteriatus on the Falstad is just gonna stay on the mid lane. Be sure that when he has his flight up, which should be reasonably soon, he's going to be there to assist his team. But Teaclub with the level 16 are definitely looking to make a sneaky play as they're collapsing on the top lane.
Absolutely. Oh, and that Fear and Ancestral coming out. But that is... No, it's still not a dead Thrall. That is a dead Artanis.
Yeah. You would have thought that Thrall would have fallen down by that, as we see Bruce Bus kind of getting a bit of re-engage, but saying after seeing the Junkrat poke, just deciding to get the hell out instead. But yeah, the point I made earlier, pretty much, you would have thought that the Thrall should have died there, but you saw like 2 or 3 separate burst heals. That's Ancestral Wrath coming out. That's the Stukov burst coming out, and that's his trait coming out. That's a lot of healing the Thrall just got there.
Very well healed though, because there was 3 times I thought he was going to drop there, and he just didn't.
Yeah, pretty much that. That's the nature of Thrall when you don't have like an insta burst comp. This is more of a sustained damage comp, especially with the Gul'dan and the Falstad, even though there are definitely burst damage elements, it's not what you would say a standard burst comp. But for now, we've got Boost Bus racing to that level 16, while Teaclub are using their advantage and they're starting to pick up the shrine. Absolutely.
So, indeed, Teaclub in a prominent position there to be picking that up. It does look like they're possibly going to manage it in time. Garrosh will be jumped upon.
Yeah, I don't think he's all that worried with his team just backing him up. And even if you do get swapped, like you are Garrosh, you're not going to care much. And since Boost Bus were slightly late on picking up that level 16, the Punisher is going to be picked up and is going to be threatening the top keep, actually.
Indeed. So what he would have done is just chucked one of them into the team there.
Yeah, pretty much that.
There wasn't really an engage to be had there. This does look like it's going to be quite a bit of damage for Boost Bus to be defending off. Oh, but that Fear and Gust.
Yep, the Ancestral even just pretty much saving Sad Boy all by itself there. So very good collapse coming out from the Teaclub on the Punisher. They're going to burn a lot of heroics from Boost Bus and are going to secure their positioning close to the keep, and with the help of the Punisher, take that down. It is an arcane Punisher, and that's a lot of zoning threat coming out just from that.
Absolutely. So they are doing the smart move. Teaclub are backing off. You don't really want to be pushing with the Punisher down a full team up. So again, it's going to be the camp cleanup. So going to be picking up probably the bottom 2, but it looks like Boost Bus have the same idea. So that could be a collapse in the making.
Yep, Boost Bus are definitely looking for a fight now before level 20 is close for Teaclub, but that's an excellent... Diablo without souls is not that tanky.
Oh,
as
wow.
we see him getting blown up there, along with the Rhaegar getting caught out of position, and then an excellent Dragon's Arrow coming out from the Hanzo to secure the kill on the Gul'dan, and suddenly that's a 3-for-0 and a second keep under pressure by Teaclub.
That is a lot of damage came out there from Teaclub, and very good focus going on there as well. So this is going to be quite a critical blow for the blue team, especially as they do have O2 members up.
Yeah. Fortunately for them, the wave is not exactly there just yet for Teaclub, but they're still going to take a bit of damage, at least a bit of damage on the keep. And they're going to say, well, we have that level 20, let's retreat, recoup, and just apply a lot of pressure because Teaclub do have a 3-level leeway.
Absolutely. And camp cleanup there as well. We do see Boost Bus cleaning up their domain going on there. So this is going to be quite a bit of pressure on Boost Bus.
Yeah, definitely so. Especially like Junkrat after that level 16 and the level 20. Like endless nades with Cannonball is stupid. Like you pretty much can spam nades all day long and they deal quite a bit of damage. As we see Hanabi actually pressuring farther ahead than the tank, but that's still a lot of CC going out on the Diablo, and he's still on not that high souls, so he's going to be falling.
I was going to say, that's Diablo, just the past 2 times has just dropped.
Mm-hmm. Also, the correction, it is actually on 90 souls, but that's still just Teaclub just going on that level, going off of that level 20 advantage, getting picks left, right, and center with the play of the game coming out from the Hanzo, the lockdown from Hanabi on the roll, and that's going to be a second keep falling down and could even threaten the core here. But instead they're going to go for more kills.
That is very much a dead Gul'dan. Is that a dead Rhaegar? That could be.
He does have the wolf form, but but Junkrat is gonna say just no. Riptire is gonna demolish you.
That does look to be a keep for the Teaclub and a dead Diablo.
And the core should be dead very soon as well. So very solid performance on game 2 by Teaclub coming out. So we're going to be going into game 3. Good game and well played by both the teams, really.
Absolutely, that was somewhat unexpected there. Very well played though by both teams there. So it is going to be a best of 3. So let me just sort out the points there.
Mm-hmm.
So bear with me.
At 1-1.
I say sort out the points when she didn't set it again. I had it set up, but I didn't do it. I apologise, folks. That was me thinking I had it all set up for this match. Oh dear.
Well, a good chance to get it fixed, I guess.
I'll have it this time. I've got to remember it this time.
But for now, we're gonna see if what Boost Bus want to go for, and since this is game 3, we might actually need to go into a break if the teams want it as well. Just because when games go to game 3, it's you usually tend to get some fatigue, or you want to get some water, anything you might need at that point.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So let's see what they wish to do.
Yep. So it's going to be again Boost Bus with the first pick. Like so far, the team that has got first pick has won the map. So if you want to go off of that, well, Boost Bus are looking good.
Okie dokie.
But if I had to guess, as far as maps go, Uh, I would probably assume we're going to be taken into Tomb of the Spider Queen just because that is the most picked map this season for the Teaclub. And the other two are Volskaya and Infernal Shrines, which we already saw. So as far as the maps go, they were very solid overall for Teaclub. And we're going to have to wait and see. Like, both of the teams have had some very decent showings.
That they have. There isn't a response in terms of if they would wish to have a break or not, so I can only imagine that they're having a team discussion. So Teaclub says that they're good to continue. So it's waiting on a boost bus.
I would assume they're just taking their break without informing the casters, which can happen sometimes. Like, teams might not let you know. But I've already gone on a tangent and made a lobby.
Woo.
No, it's actually not going to be that. It's going to be Teaclub throwing pretty much a curveball at the moment and picking up Towers of Doom, actually. And I'm just
my favorite.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that either. But I'm going to reboot Heroes for a second because it was lagging, and I'm not sure if it was Heroes or if it was just my internet overall. I would assume it was that, but
Yes.
Ooh.
Just as I deserve.
Thank you for the resub for 10 months, Nosnery.
Yeah.
And also hello
Prime.
to Barks and Nosnery in the channel as well.
That is Twitch Prime. So if anybody's interested, if you want to support the lounge, and if you happen to have a Twitch Prime subscription available, it's free. If you're using Amazon Prime, you can link your Twitch account and you can press that button in the top right, and you can get a free sub to whoever you want. And if you're enjoying this, why not make it this one?
Absolutely. I mean, not many people know about that. And to be honest, it's something that I've only recently learnt as well. So does it look like boost busts are also good to go as well? I assume from that response.
Yeah, I apparently misclicked and somehow created. I think the custom games map pick screen actually griefed me slightly because I was pretty sure I clicked Towers of Doom. But yeah, we should be getting the lobby set up decently soon if Heroes actually stops griefing me.
You're having a tough time with your griefs today, aren't you?
Yeah, it's literally switching from Towers of Doom to Volskaya, and I'm...
Poor Paradox being griefed. Okay.
Yeah, I literally can't make a game now.
I mean, I'm not exactly the greatest one at creating lobbies. My team will happily tell you. So if you need one made, do let me know.
Yeah, I already asked the teams. Don't you worry. I've already asked the teams. The game is like I can't press the button to create a game, so it's really hard for me to do something about that. But griefs are being had, but we should be done. We should still be in game relatively soon. Hopefully.
I hope so. Yeah, it's never a wise idea to ask me to make the lobby, so...
Yeah, don't you worry. You've already got enough stuff to worry about. Excuse me, I'm not Bears, Nas.
Griefing Paradox is a noble endeavor.
Yeah. And it's not even that, like, nobody is actually, no person is actually griefing me. It's the game itself and my internet, apparently. If technology is against me, well, that sucks as well.
Yay, there we go. So BB Lawtech has created the lobby. Yay. So yeah, future reference, never ask me, anyone, to make a lobby.
Yeah.
So again, very quick in getting into position. We do have full teams, just yourself at the moment. So I hope that internet is holding up.
Yeah, there we go. I got in. That's gonna do it.
Okay. Ooh. Oh no, even worse. They've given me the rights to start the game and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would suggest you switch the lobby mode to tournament draft
Oh
and
goodness.
give the first pick to the left team.
No,
Since
no, no.
Boost
I'm just gonna give you the host. There we go.
Yeah, that's a wiser.
Oh boy. Grief begets grief.
Yep, let me crown the correct people. I hope those are the correct people anyway. But yes. Also, we seem to have had a sort of spike in viewers. So whoever is new here, welcome. This is game 3 of this best of 3, as you can see from the score. Hopefully, Celestina has fixed
I
that.
have. Woo.
This is a Div 3 match, as we have both teams at the ready. We're going to be hopping right into the game. But this is a Div 3 match between Boost Boss on the left and to the Teaclub on the right, as you can also hopefully see, as long as Celestina's tech is not green.
Yeah, I've done it. and I've put the boat up as well. So again, to those of you who've joined us, thank you for joining. It is the best of 3, as Paradox has previously said. Please do feel free even to bet on any of the teams here, Boost Bus or the Teaclub. And if you win, your points will get, I believe, doubled. Is that correct?
No, you're gonna win a portion equivalent to your a portion of the opposing points equivalent to yours, if I'm not mistaken, or a percentage of the opposing according to yours, if I'm not mistaken. But are you seeing my chat messages in chat? Because I'm not seeing them, and I have pressed the button. So
I have seen you say that I've pressed the button.
okay.
And we do see that Boost Bus do not want to be giving a third match of Junkrat over to the Teaclub. So that is the first ban going out. I mean, they did get quite a bit of grief from the Junkrat. So I suppose they're going to be swapping out the Maev first ban this time. I can still see your messages in the chat. And Medivh ban coming out from the Teaclub. I think we may have lost Paradox. Are you there, Paradox? No, we've lost Paradox, so it's just me. So let's continue. So the first pick is going to be going over to Boost Bus, and that's going to be a Hanzo, taking that away from Teaclub, who've used it in the last 2 previous matches there. The Paradox's internet finally died. Let's hope that he comes back relatively soon. You'll be bored hearing my voice for the next probably 40 minutes. So, taking their time, Teaclub are going to be picking up their first 2 champs. I'm not sure who they would be picking. I would imagine possibly Stukov again. They do seem to be wanting to prioritise on that. Possibly a Li Ming. I would like to see a Li Ming here from either side. She is quite dominant on this map, I find. At least it's my favourite for her. It is also a strong one for Junkrat, so that explains the first ban on that. It's a Garrosh and a Maev, so... Oh! Oh, we've gone back. Okay, so, This is interesting. So Paradox has gone. How do we it's completely disconnected at the moment. So we do have a completely disconnected Paradox. Okay. Unless any co-caster or caster wants to help step in here, because I am terrible at making lobbies. Okay, with me. So we're going to go on to a quick break whilst we sort out this minor blip. So those of you who are still tuned in, please do sit still and we will be back in just a few minutes. Okay, and we are back. Apologies for the delay, folks. Thank you very much for staying, hanging on and tuned in for us there. I believe that we are ready to go. Paradox is back,
Yep.
aren't you, Paradox?
Back and hopefully kicking, as I mentioned. So we're going to be hopping right into the draft. Apparently, I completely missed it, but the teams did get some picks in. So we're going to, at least I'm going to comment on them as they come in because I saw nothing. But yes, hopefully there should be no more technical difficulties. I apologize for the delays, the quite long delays, if I'm being honest. But this shouldn't happen. Like, this is quite a rarity for me.
It even griefed my the vote as well, so I'll create a new one. So there we go. It should be up. Ooh.
Yep.
It
So-
seems to have griefed my my vote.
Well, you're gonna have to pay to. Well, I don't know what you're gonna have to do, but I'm not very familiar with that. But we've got the first picks coming out. Boost was actually letting Maiev slide, saying that Junkrat was extremely annoying to play against, and he was like the poke damage being put out by him was quite high, so very understandable. Medivh still being banned by Teaclub, they still don't want to see him. Hanzo on the Boost Bus side instead of the Teaclub this time, still a very solid hero.
There we go. I've got it working now. So bets are up. Sorry to intervene. You do have 5 minutes to put your bets in, so please do feel free.
Yeah.
And a Sonya ban from the Teaclub coming out with the Medivh. So we are going through this quickly due to the slight technical difficulty there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, Maiev actually being let through. Like everybody else, we've pretty much discussed, but Maiev coming out. So we're gonna have to see just how well they can play. Boost Bus can play into the Maiev because they knowingly let her slide, and they haven't got the best heroes into her. Like Diablo, sure he can tank whatever he wants. If the Hanzo gets caught out, which it is a possibility, like with the Maiev blink, if he oversteps slightly, he can definitely be picked off. And with the chains, you can't jump out of that, and Hanzo is extremely squishy, so if you're caught in that, you might very well be dead. So interesting to see how that's going to go.
Mm-hmm. And a crummy ban.
Yep.
Out from Boost Bust. It is interesting though, the complete change of teams. So the Teaclub's basic entire set there for 3 have been going to the Boost Bus. They've picked up the Hanzo, the Stukov, Diablo. The Diablo they didn't play, so excuse me. They have done 2 swaps there. Taken away the Hanzo, as it was quite a strong one, and the Stukov as well for Sinister. So that's quite a smart move with that. They have picked up a Maiev and a Garrosh instead on the Teaclub side. So that's going to be quite interesting to see.
Yeah, that's like a lot of annoyance potential and a lot of zoning potential with the Maiev chains, with the Garrosh stun, the Garrosh presence overall, with the potential for the throw, the stun, what have you. So positioning is going to be very key as far as Boost Bus is concerned. And Teaclub are taking their sweet time, gonna let the counter tick down to 0, and they're gonna say, well, you know who's a good solo laner, just overall solid? Leoric, gonna pick that up, and a very decent mage in the Kael'thas, actually. I'm kind of surprised by that, but it's still very understandable.
Yeah, I mean, they are going to have quite a bit of hassle trying to defend the Kael'thas from the Hanzo, Stukov and Diablo alike. So hopefully they'll be able to manage that. It is a slight unusual pick for Kael'thas on this map, but one that I do approve of as a caster player myself. It is always interesting though going into the best of 3, because the third match I find everybody plays their best champs, so it makes it like the hardest game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Like, both teams are warmed up. Mm-hmm. They've gotten a W each. They kind of see what's going on, what's working, what's not. So there you can't make adjustments, especially in the higher level games. You can definitely make adjustments. And it's going to be, well, the Frost Mage to counter the Fire Mage, and a very solid Tyrael to just deal with all that threat from the Kel'Thas and the AoE generally coming out from the Teaclub.
Absolutely, I do approve of. Again, we have a Jaina coming out as well, so that can be quite a heavy combo, especially if Leoric, Maiev, and Garrosh are all involved in that at once. So it's always fun to see that. You've got, as we said, it's ice and fire. So you've got the Phoenix and you've got Jaina's Frost Orb. So this is going to be quite an interesting one. And as we said, they are playing in for the win, in to win it. So I am very much looking forward to this match. And also thank you for keeping the chat alive with TFA, enjoying their banter in the chat, which is appreciated. And a Lucio pickup from Teaclub, which I know is one of Sinister's strongest supports. So this will be interesting, especially, I have to say as well, the Lucio shield really negates Jaina's damage.
Yeah, pretty much any mage's damage, it can be negated by a well-timed Lucio shield, just because of the nature.
It's a hard time though. I've had it firsthand playing a Jaina against a Lucio. It's a really tough call when it's popped right.
Yeah, especially like on Towers of Doom, Lucio is probably very decent just because of the fact that you can't have that Accelerando working for you all the time. Like there's walls everywhere, so you can't go really quickly and just have rotations all the time. Keep yourself out of harm's way. But there's also Diablo on the other side, who also very well benefits from the walls. So very easy to see. No real easy way to poke from like long range for either team. Like you either have the Kel'Thas DQ or the Hanzo Scatter Arrow and well, kind of the Stormbow. So nothing clear cut. This is going to be a very interesting game 3.
Absolutely. So we are going into match 3. Let me just sort some things. So we have got, I'm going to start with the left-hand side for this one. We have got Boost Bus on the left in blue. We have BB Lortak on Hanzo, BB Antariudas on Jaina, BB Schnecko on Stukov, BB Sadboy on Diablo, and Tyrael on Eragonus, even on Tyrael.
Yep. And on the right-hand side, in red, looking to carry the momentum from Game 2, it's going to be the Teaclub with the Rileys on the Kel'Thas, Sinister playing the Lucio, Hanabi on the Maiev, Darken running, again, that Garrosh, and Leoric being played by Oni Knight.
Absolutely. So Tyrael seems to be trying to get into position there. We have Hanabi trying to scare them away with the Maiev Shadow coming out there.
Yeah, the Shadow just making sure that the Teaclub can get some push going, but it's not like Boost Bus are lacking on the wave clear. As soon as the wave gets pushed in, Jaina's going to be there. Diablo actually flipping Maiev out of the Jaina spells, even though I'm not 100% sure that she would have taken any damage from them because invulnerable, by the way. But still.
Absolutely. So it is going to be the rotations going on. It is 2v2 in the mid, soon to be 4v2. So Teaclub do need to be careful with that. Maiev is getting a farm on the bottom, having free range. Range?
Raid?
That's the one.
So, Hanzo also, for the side of Boost Bus this time, also going for apparently the winning Hanzo build, picking up that simple geometry on level 1. He's already stacked it 4 times, considering that the teams haven't exactly met each other that much. It's nice to have 5 now, with the walls to bounce off of all the time. But
absolutely.
Generally speaking, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah. As far as talents go, we've got pretty much standard stuff on everyone. Naisha's Memento coming out on level 1 from the Maiev, which is, I mean, you can see some differentiation on that, and I unfortunately do not remember the names of the other talents on level 1, but I've seen quite a few of those as well, even though I think this is the same.
Absolutely, and that is a very early pickup on the camp, I have to say there, from Boost Bust as well. Taz, I cannot talk today for this third match. My coffee's gone.
Yeah, Altars is going to spawn, and you say early pickup on the Sappers. I say late. Like, we've seen teams prioritizing the Sappers as soon as they spawn, just because of the amount of pressure they can put on, especially early game. They can get you quite a bit of an XP lead, so very well done by Boost Bus, even though they didn't get any value. But since they've decided to go for the Sappers into bot lane, just stealing them out of the enemy team, they're gonna have their own altar stolen in exchange by the Teaclub.
Indeed. So it is a 4v3 in the middle there as well. Apologies if you can pick up background noise. Do let me know if you can.
It doesn't seem like it. At least you're not picking it up on my side, so I would hope the viewers are also not picking it up. But for now, we're going to have pretty much a stalemate. Neither team... I was going to say neither team looking for an engagement, as we see Sadboy and Antariatus positioning in a rather precarious spot. Lucio taking a lot of damage, but he's just going to speed away. And Jaina is actually in also a very bad spot with the pull from the Maiev into the throw from the Garrosh. And that's going to secure the kill on her.
Absolutely. So that seems quite a hairy situation there to be in. That was kind of hard to keep an eye on, to be honest.
Yeah, the displacements, as I mentioned at the draft, like the displacements coming out from Teaclub were really annoying. Like you saw people bouncing left, right, and center there with the Maiev chains, with the pulls with the throws from the Diablo, even the boop. I think there was a boop coming out from the Lucio. Then suddenly Jaina was in a very bad spot, as we see her being in
that's
right
a dead
now.
Jaina. That is a dead Jaina.
That is 100% a dead Jaina, even being thrown back into her own blizzard before dying to the throw itself. So that's a very timely kill for the Teaclub, and we see Boost Bus making a questionable decision of actually trying to push it to get the Sappers while they are 4v5, and it seems that Shneko is going to pay for that. And Teaclub are going to just get a very nice head start on that.
Teaclub are in quite a nice position here. Their focus is very strong in this match. So they have picked up another there, and they are heavily pushing on the bottom lane. That is quite a chunk already from the bottom lane, considering it's 5 minutes 40 in.
Now that's the damage Sappers can do for you. Like, take down an entire tower, maybe deal a bit of damage to the wall, as we're seeing happened on the other side. Like if you look at Teaclub's side, that's pretty much the damage that has been dealt. So that is why you prioritize Sappers on this map. But it's going to be an almost one level lead for the Teaclub, so Boost Bus are going to definitely stay defensive, look to get that soak, get that level 10 for themselves. Like, altars are not spawning, so they're not yet being threatened.
Absolutely. So, that is quite a scary push. A 1v5 tackling the bottom there, trying to push their way through to get that fort. And I think they are going to get that fort.
They definitely are, leveraging their level 10 advantage as well as you can do on this map. With just picking that up, but Leoric is going to end up in a very precarious spot. He does not have the extended timer on the Wraith Walk, so he's just... I think he Wraith Walked, I would assume he Wraith Walked out, but still was in a very precarious spot, as that was a 3-man rotation from the Boost Bus. So they're going to get that pick, they're going to secure the level 10s, And Shineko is barely gonna dodge that chain.
Absolutely. Oh, but that ulti coming from Teaclub there. But they do manage to pick up a kill on the Tyrael.
Yeah. Shineko might have dodged that chain, but Tyrael did not, and he's gonna be falling down.
That's a dead Kael'thas. Yeah, that is a dead Kael'thas. Unfortunately caught out there by Jaina's Frost Orb. And a dead Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo actually trying to get a pick on Sinister on the Lucio. Did smash her into the wall, but was not able to secure that. And we see Shineko just doing what Stukov can do in this map, throwing his lurking arm over the wall, trying to interrupt that, but he's gonna get forced out by Darkin on the Garrosh, and the good block coming out from Darkin again, stopping the arrow from hitting Sinister to interrupt that channel.
Absolutely, so that is quite a few pickups there from Teaclub. And a lot of damage to the core going on for Boost Bus there. I did miss that kill on the Leoric, sorry about that folks.
Yep, he was slightly preoccupied with clearing the wave, and suddenly five members of the Boost Bus showed up on his face. With Jaina being there and her burst damage, you're not going to survive that for long. We see Boost Bus taking their time, like they have some time, some leeway now, especially with the Leoric being there, and them being on even talent, where they can get alleviate some pressure even from the bottom lane, especially with the Saber camps rolling up right now.
Absolutely, so the Rileys and Darkin are relatively low. I don't think they want to be engaging in this at this moment in time.
Also,
but I think they might be.
Thank you, Dai or Dal Shield, for pointing out the accent. But we have an excellent Apocalypse into an Hanzo Arrow and a Ring of Frost. But the Jaina is going to step out just far enough that Hanabi on the Maiev is going to be able to jump her and get some massive resets, dealing so much damage to the entire team, as well as the Riley on the Kel'Thas, just chunking pretty much everyone down. Like, that was 3 or 4 people stacked together. That's Maiev and Kel'Thas heaven right there.
That was very much Maiev and Kel'Thas heaven right there. That was massive clumping from Maev's ulti. That was very good teamwork with the ultis going on there. The damage was nuts.
Like, that was an initiation from the Boost Bus. Excellent Dragon Arrow, trying to get that cleanup on the Garrosh, but it is Garrosh you're focusing down. So he didn't survive. He survived, and everybody else from Boost Bus did not. And we see another chain coming out on the Maiev, but she's going to step into the safe zone. But Odinite is going to say, well, have a free kill and just walk into the safe zone. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I thought that was a dead Jaina there, not realising the Leoric HP going on. But that's going to be definitely a dead Diablo.
Yeah, where you end up in that position, you're most likely dead. And now you're getting into a very, very precarious position if you are Boost Boss, because you're already on 8 core health. Like, boss plus any altar can threaten game, especially when you're like down 1, which means even less presence on the map for you. So this is like, Boost Boss are gonna have to make some very solid, decisive team fights, get them going in their favor really quick.
Absolutely. So there is a camp pickup there coming out from the Teaclub to give that extra pressure.
Again, Boost Bus, they're even on talents. They're trying to get an engagement. That's a Warlord's challenge actually whiffing from Darkin. So if anything, this is where you want to fight if you are Boost Bus. And we see Sadboy diving in, hitting an excellent Aplock on 4 people. 2 are hit. Excellent Ring of Frost hitting also 3 people. Maiev is gonna fall. Like, Diablo was tanking that. Sanct is kind of low, kind of late. Not actually gonna be able to save the Jaina. So
wow,
even that 4v5 was won by the Teaclub, and that was Leoric and Lucio are going to be channeling the two alters in the top lane, and that's going to be GG.
Wow. That was quite a map domination that I was not expecting there from the Teaclub for this map. Is this one of their strongest maps, or?
I mean, they haven't played it, at least not on this season, so I can't tell you much about that. And I'm not going to look into the seasons past just because they've had quite a few roster changes.
Mm-hmm.
But we could ask them if they want to join us for an interview.
Absolutely, that was very well played from both teams there. So. Do you have any winners questions? Because I'm not especially great at that.
Yeah, apparently Oni and I just decided to give some trait value, which is, well, it is very welcome here in the lounge. Like, we always appreciate a show of good trait value with that int into the death zone on his Leoric.
Absolutely. So, Ani can talk. Exactly. So I take it that Ani is probably going to be the one talking on behalf of the Teaclub. So let's see. Let's pop to the interview room. And we are back.
Yep, we're having an argument here between Sinister and Oni as to who's going to be joining, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the entire team joining moment.
Absolutely, or it's at least going to be both Ani and Sinister. There's one.
We already have Oni. Hello, and congratulations on your win. I assume that Sinister will not be joining us.
No, she's a very shy girl. She can do this.
Right, well, that's understandable. But after a rather close best of 3, how are you feeling?
Well, we're feeling pretty good because we had to fight this match with a sub. We actually had to get him today, and he was supposed to play the solo, but he's an assassin main like me, so we had to kind of like fight it off which one gets to do it. In the end, it worked out, so I'm pretty happy with it. I am happy with my team, how we did. So yeah, overall good feelings.
Yeah, okay. We weren't even informed about that, but sure, I guess if the other team was informed, that's fine.
Yeah, I spoke to Sinister just before the match as well.
Oh, okay then. Well, I mean, let's go back to, let's start off from game 1. Nazebo, what was your reaction?
It was something like, what? Why? What? Okay, that's right. That was something like that, actually. That was our reaction. Honestly, we played Nazebo in our last series on that map, and we did pretty good with him. So I don't know if they scouted us and just wanted to take it away from us. It could have been a thing. The player that actually played Nazebo did not play today. That's the one we had to sub for. But yeah, I don't know if they know any of that. Probably not. So it could have been a counter pick. That's the only thing I got on Nazebo.
Well, you mentioned that he was your solo laner. Were you planning on sending the Nazebo on the solo lane?
No. The Nazebo did not play on the solo lane.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, I was hoping that you were going to respond with that.
No, we leave Sylvanas for the solo lane. That's a joke. We don't do that.
Okay, then. Right, so you dropped game 1. Like, it was an iffy position with the Nazebo just throwing toads everywhere, them being damaged. But game 2, what did you do? Like, you did pick first pick, so you were fine. And I assume you were very fine with seeing that the enemy team picked Infernal Shrines. So what did you do? How did you pick yourselves back up?
Yeah, well, the first game was kind of annoying because we did so much damage. We actually had the top 3 damage dealers in that game, and we couldn't kill anyone, right? So, yes, it felt very awkward at the end, which is like, they have really good because they didn't have much damage, but they were great at protecting their team and just playing together. So in the second game, we decided to, well, I think what actually won us the second game was just some bad position by their tank player, I would say. I'm not sure if that's the only thing, but we got some picks that did not happen in the first game, and then they couldn't fight for the objective. They couldn't contest, and we just escalated from there. At the end, I think they were kind of lost because their positioning was just all over the place. But I think that's just because on how the game went, because they played really well in the first map. So,
all right then. Well, if you would like to ask any specific questions, Celestina, we can just continue on.
I mean, I just want to ask what happened with that Leoric wall at the end.
I knew that was gonna yes. So I never played solo laners. I have no clue what I know a little, right? But I'm not good at that. And I really think we could have just got a pick on Jaina, but my team wasn't really like in the same disposition that I was. Kind of a little bit of miscommunication, and I just got trade value. So yes, that's what happened.
I guess that works.
Yeah, I was a little confused. I thought it was a dead Jaina, then you died instead. So
my team was also confused. It's okay.
But also
everyone pretty much.
But also, what did you think of the Falstad pick in the second game, which we also found a bit of an unusual pick from the enemy team?
Yeah, unexpected. I thought when I saw it, I thought, okay, so we have squishies in the back line. What they're going to do is just gust us into Diablo ult, and then we just don't have tools to escape. Fortunately, it did not work out that way, and we actually managed to come out with a win. I don't think Falstad is a bad hero. I just think he's not met right now because of the squishiness, etc. But if played well, it can actually provide a lot to the team. So it's not like it was a completely out there pick, like that make no sense, but was definitely unexpected.
Yeah, we were a bit thrown off as well by that. So it's a Nazeebo and the Falstad we were a little confused about. But again, congratulations on your wins.
Actually, well, one last thing I would like to ask, but on game, wait, I got stuck.
Yes.
Okay, I forgot. Never mind. You can continue on. So
okay.
Excuse me. I'm lost.
I was just going to say, if there's no further questions, again, congratulations on your win. Do you have any shout-outs or anything that you wish to say?
No. I don't really have shout out to actually Anna before subbing for us. Yeah, it did really nicely. Also, another shout out for Sinister for not picking her hero and making me get Leoric, because that was actually not supposed to happen. I liking the hero, and she was supposed to get the healer, but she didn't. So thank you, Sinister, for giving me a great Leoric game. And that's about it. Good job to the team. I'm happy about the win. And shout out to you guys. Thank you for casting us.
You're welcome, and thank you very much. And I hope that you continue to have some good games and enjoy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good luck in the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks.
And back to Casters 1. Do you have anything further you wish to say, Paradox?
Yeah, I mean, thank you for having me as always. Pleasure casting as always again. And well, actually, thanks to I'm looking at the host right now, and I see that Cavalier Guest hosted us for like 100+ viewers. So if any of you stuck around, I hope you enjoyed this as well. Since if you're not regulars here, be sure to give us a follow. We have a lot of streams usually. Like this is a relatively quiet day, but especially if you catch us on like Fridays/weekends, you can definitely expect to see some probably higher quality than our cast, just because there shouldn't be delays. there should be less potato casters.
I haven't seen that host. Am I missing something here?
I don't know. I'm looking at your whatchamacallit, your overlay, and it's saying that there. So I don't know if you haven't had any alerts about that.
No, I didn't get any alerts, but I see what you mean. But that might explain why we had the extra listeners tuned in earlier. So thank you, Cavalier Guest, for the host. And I hope yourselves, thank you for tuning in and staying with us. I hope that you did enjoy the cast and enjoyed watching the matches. If there's nothing further, Paradox, I don't want to cut you off.
For me, no. If you would like to do the outro, that's going to be fun.
But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. I believe there's some matches actually going on tomorrow, so let me just check that out for yourselves first before we sign off. So we don't have any matches actually for tomorrow at the moment.
At least not for now,
Not
but
for now, yeah.
there could be some spontaneous sign-ups from some of our casts, but weekdays are usually iffy.
There might be a spontaneous cast from myself with one of those sign-ups. Still seeing if I have the time to do it, but yeah, again, thank you for also being lively in the chat as well. Without you guys, obviously Heroes Lounge wouldn't be here, so your support is always appreciated, and using your time to watch us is also appreciated. So without further ado, thank you again from myself and Paradox, and have a good evening.